Hey, it's me, Lisa B. Like I said before, please excuse my finger. I'm waiting for my. I thought I had it. Hold on. Hold on. I was trying to charge my little remote that goes with the tripod, but it's not, so I think there might be something wrong with it. And it's brand new, too. Anyway, I want to tell you this evening, or late afternoon, about my grandchildren and having grandchildren. I am an extremely proud Grammy. Um, that's what I called. That's what I wanted to be called from the beginning. And when I told my big ones, the OGs as we call them, then they started doing it. So every time another one was born, which was 6 after them, they all started calling me Grammy. And every time one says it, I tell them they're getting the million because they just started saying Grammy. And actually, yesterday I went over to my son Michael's house. He's the middle one. And his son, Mikey, is 2.5. And when I drove up and he saw my car, he got the biggest smile and he was so happy. And his mom said that he was saying, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, Grammy, get out of the car." So I got out of the car and I just had the biggest smile. And I told him, I said, if I had $1 million right here, I'd give it to you because it melts your heart and it warms your heart. And you just don't know what it means until you have that experience. And it's pretty amazing. So I have these OGs that are twins, boy and a girl, Juliet and Gianluca, who actually will be 18 on Tuesday. So it's a big deal around them. Well, actually for her, because he doesn't really like to celebrate his birthday that much. But I bought him, I wanted to get them both something that was like kind of lasting, but I bought him these Grammy expensive because that's the only ones who would buy it, I think. Well, at least in my household there is. So I bought him these tennis shoes that he really, really, really wanted. He's been wanting them for a long time. When I was in Italy last year, he wanted me to buy them there because he said they were cheaper. His cousin told him. Well, they were cheaper because there's no tax on them, but they're not necessarily cheaper. And I wasn't going to bring him home just a expensive tennis shoe for a souvenir from my trip. So anyway, he told me enough about it. There was nothing else he wanted. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do what Grammys can do and buy him these shoes. So I did, and he came over and got them, and he was so happy, so happy. I guess as happy as a 18-year-old boy could be. I'm just thrilled. And all he does is tell me that they're going to last a really long time. Okay. And he wants to wear them to the junior senior prom next week. He said he really likes wearing dress shoes, but then they end up hurting his feet, and he likes wearing the tennis shoes, which I see most of the boys wear. I don't get it, but that's what they wear for their formal wear. His sister, we are going to Glen Ivy, which is a spa with its mineral water pools, basically. It's in Corona, about an hour and a half from here. And we're going to go for the day because I told her that, an experience, sorry, I just moved this with my foot. An experience is almost better sometimes than a gift. And it's something that you will remember, hopefully, forever. And I think it means just as much to me to be able to take her on her 18th birthday as it does to her to be going, because she's just excited. And I'm going to do a treatment for her. I'm not going to say what, because she'll probably watch this and it's a surprise. And have lunch and do the mud, Club Mud it's called. So there's mud that you put all over you. And then there's a grotto where you get painted with this really thick creams and leave that on, and it soaks in, and then you wash it off and your skin is really soft. So by the end of the day, we're gonna be really soft, if nothing else, and relaxed, I'm sure. And then from there, there's a big gap until their little brother, Giuseppe, who's actually just turned 4. He's a character. He does Michael Jackson, sings and dances like his dad and his uncle did at his age, and it's really, really cute. And his little sister, Janina, who we call Nini's, and she's a year and a half and just a little spitfire. She's got her own personality and her own temperament, and she's stubborn as heck. And when she says no, it's pretty much no. And I think she kind of has a hand in running the household, being the baby. And then PJ, the baby of mine, the youngest, 36, but he's always a baby, or going to be known as the baby, not that he actually had a baby. But he had Santino, Sonny, who's 2.5, and he and Mikey were born about 5 or 6 weeks apart. So at first they were kind of eyeing each other for quite a long time, and now they're little besties. They get together at least once a week and play, and they're really good friends, and it's so cute and so nice to see, because I know my boys grew up with their first cousins who are really their best friends, and they were pretty much all boys, mostly boys. And so they all grew up together, and they really liked that. And so that's what they kind of wanted to do, was all have their babies close to each other. So we ended up having a wedding within like a year and a half, and a whole bunch of babies were spit out right then. So after Sonny, who's Santino, he has a baby brother named Luciano, who's 8 months, and he's getting to be all over the place and standing up and doing all the things he should be doing. Really, really, really cute. He looks more like PJ, his daddy, and Santino looks like his mama a lot. And then we go to Michael's house, and Michael has little Michael, who is 2.5, like a little younger than Santino. And then his baby sister, Liliana actually, who was born at 8 in the morning on August 22nd. And Luciano was born at about 5 or 6 in the evening, same day, but different hospitals. No, it wasn't planned because they both had different due dates, and it ended up with them both on the same day. And I think I mentioned that about Joey, who's the oldest, and it was he who had the twins, who are 18, and then the little ones. So he really started over, but I think he enjoys having them. I mean, if you want to say they keep you young, they do keep you young, even me. So I go and see them all and visit and, bring something a lot of the time. And then they end up saying, well, what'd you bring me? What do you have? What are you going to give me? So I love to see them. And I know that they don't really have too many memories before the age of 3, but I always say that they might not remember what happened, but I do. So it's memories for me, and then I can tell them about what I used to do with them. So I just have great memories of being with my grandparents. We used to go to the zoo. We'd walk around not Grossmont, College Grove Center, if anybody in San Diego remembers that. And it was like a great mall. I think it was the only one at the time before Fashion Valley opened. And we'd just go walk the mall after school and go walk the mall and just kind of window shop. And there was a caramel corn place that I remember. So we'd always get caramel corn. I'd sleep over there a lot. Grandma always did our nails, always scrubbed us in the bathtub, put us to bed, gave us, the extra blankets. I remember she had a wool blanket, all wool, a light pink blanket that was so scratchy, but we had that. We had a bedroom with 2 beds in it because there were usually like me and my brother Ken sleeping over, or then it got to be just me. They took us to the opera starting little. I was probably about 5, and we went to opening night of the opera. And I wore, party dresses and Mary Jane shoes, of course, and little white kid gloves that I still have, and I have bigger kid gloves that my mom and grandma always wore. We went to the operas. I pretty much hated them because they're boring when you're 5, 6, 7, 8. Fall asleep. Sometimes they were in school nights. Fall asleep, and then afterwards we would go to the Westgate Hotel or to Carnation, which I think was on El Cajon Boulevard, and have ice cream, or the where else do we go? The Grant Grill at the U.S. Grant Hotel. So we'd go out, get something to eat afterwards. And I went till I was probably like 13, 14. Grandma always went in their long gown and fur because everybody dressed up. Grandpa had a tuxedo on and they were all dressed. And the boys, my brothers, Gary and Kenny, who were older than me, they stopped going, I don't know, when they were 13, 14, 15, because they were really bored. And they told Grandma and Grandpa that they couldn't go anymore because they had to do homework because school was a lot harder. So they got out of going. And as much as I hated it, now I hear opera songs and I can pick right away. I know what opera they came from and I remember it. So obviously it all sunk in and I'm happy about that. And now, of course, I wish I would have paid more attention to them. But, I didn't appreciate it at that age. But that was a good foundation I think they gave us. So, yeah, I'm just telling you if, grandkids are it as far as I'm concerned. If you don't have them, I can't say anything. And if you wanted them and don't have them, then I'm sorry for you, feel sad. But if everybody's okay with not having kids and then you get grandkids, then so be it, I suppose. But you can definitely dote on other people's grandkids, your friends. Because believe me, once you're a grandparent, you start bragging a lot and showing pictures and trading pictures. Well, here's mine. Well, here's mine. And now with iPhones, like I'm in a group chat with 4 of my besties, and we are always sending pictures of our grandkids. But I feel bad. I don't want to send too many, although I easily could, but I don't. So that's something to look forward to for those of you who are wanting them. I hope you get them. And that's my take on it because they just completely own my heart.